DownHome Sports, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank of Texas, the way banking should be. Pinnacle Bank, not another bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Now with ATM Live, powered by the people, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can always speak with a live teller. Dough City Pizza and Burgers, located in Red Oak, Texas. For the best in artisan burgers, pizza, and ice cream, make sure you try something that is delicious right across from the high school in Red Oak. Elite Tire and Automotive, located in Midlothian, Texas. And the United States Marine Corps, the fighting spirit of an entire nation.
With today's busy schedules, we need flexibility. Pinnacle Bank is the way banking should be. With ATM Live, powered by the people. They have hours that make it easy. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can just pull up to one of the easy to access ATMs where there's always someone live, friendly, and knowledgeable to help you. Pinnacle Bank, not just another bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC. Well, guess what else, County? We're here with the Waxahachie football team. We got Coach Shane Tolson. We got Iverson Young. We got LaMarcus Reed, and we're going to talk about a great start to their season. You know, Coach, you go 2-1 in the start of this season, and you did exactly what I thought you'd do. You come out with a stout defense and a good running game. You know, just talk about how good this first part of this year has been thus far.
Well, first off, I got to give credit to those kids and this coaching staff. We know in order to get this thing going and the championships that I've been a part of, you've played great defense and you're able to run the football. And that holds true year in and year out when teams go deep in the playoffs and they win state championships. You can't be one-sided, but and you got to play great defense. So it's been really good. Obviously, we lost a close one the other night that I know a lot of our kids were hurting for it. I was hurting for them, but that game was big for this town, but it does not hold anything as far as what our ultimate goal is and going into district. So we're ready to put that season behind us. I told our kids we have 3 seasons in a season. First season is non-district, second season is district, and the third season is playoffs. So we're entering our second season. We're making some changes even now. Entering this thing at 0-0. Our record is 0-0, and here we go.
Hey, that's the way I look at it as well. And LaMarcus, I know you got a nickname of Speed Bump, but we got to get rid of that, man. Okay, we got to start calling you Stump or something, because the way you're hitting these guys, they ain't moving afterwards. All right. So just talk about your defense and what y'all been able to do thus far, and what are some of the things that Coach has been able to implement thus far that has helped y'all out this season?
Well, it's been a lot. I mean, we just been going practice, coming to film and stuff. We learning new things and just learning what we're supposed to do. We getting everything done, and then we just coming out there Friday, they giving them what they want. And I mean, that's really about it. We just following what we're supposed to be doing, and then like we don't think something can go down right. We just change it up, and then we go what we know we can do, and then we just get it done.
Gotcha. Well, LaMarcus, would it be okay if we called Iverson Speed Bump? Because he is a punishing runner, and the way he's running over these guys is like he's hitting a speed bump. Iverson, just talk about your style of running. I mean, it seems like those guys come in and you love to lower the pads and just lay the boom on.
I just feel like you should be punished for getting in my way every time, and yeah, that's what I like to do it. But he a real speed bump though. I mean, he'll run through a wall, and
exactly.
He'll run through a wall, but he the real speed bump. But I just try to find my holes and use my eyes all the time.
Well, and Coach, I mean, you know, we can talk about the defense. We talk about the offense. Let's say start with the offensive line though. For these guys, it seems like, you know, offensive lines are normally the last thing that come together on a football team. And it just seems like they're meshing just at the right time to go into district right now. And they've been playing actually pretty darn good from my vantage point. Just talk about how that's matured during this early season.
Absolutely. When you talk about offense in general, it usually takes a little bit longer than defense because defense can play so fast that it makes up for some mistakes and cover up for somebody else. And that's what's so good about what we've been doing. We've been playing really fast and helping that. But offensively, one guy messes up and it's a tackle for loss, it's an interception, it's a sack. It takes a little bit longer to get that thing gelled up, especially with a young quarterback, and, a lot of new guys on the football field. And our offensive line has done a tremendous job of growing. There's some new faces over there. There's two guys that did not play at all last year on that offensive line, and it takes time understanding the ins and outs of different defenses and the quarterback style and the offensive play calling and just going to work every day and learning each other, number one, and just coming together. And it's been fun to watch. It's been really bad sometimes to watch. Okay. If I was Iverson, it'd scare me sometimes, but I tell you what, man, these kids, but they really want to, and they're coming to work every single day to get better. And they know right now that's what's going to take us all the way.
Well, and Iverson, I'm going to jump back to you since we talked about that offensive line. One of the big things I noticed about your running game also is you got that good sidestep and then a burst of speed after that. How good is it to have somebody out there in front of you and those wide receivers downfield blocking for you? Because that's what's busted up in a couple of your big runs thus far. Just talk about the team effort on that offensive side that's getting those big runs.
I love our team effort on the offensive side of the ball. I really believe in those guys, those offensive line that are in front of me. I wouldn't trade any of them. The receivers, they work hard. They really do. And some games they haven't been rewarded with the ball, but they still work hard and they still fight for it because they believe in the team and they believe in the offense. So, yeah, I really appreciate those guys.
Well, and LaMarcus, you've got a pretty stout defensive line up there in front of you, opening some holes for you to get that blitz in there. So just talk about how that defensive unit, how you feel it's come as far as a cohesive unit and working together. It just seems like y'all are on all cylinders going into this last game.
Yeah, we start getting better and then start coming together, I think, after that Arlington Lamar game and stuff. And then after that, when it carried out to this game, we started coming together. And then, we just had lost. We're going to bounce back. Because it's 0-0 now. We're in our new season now. So, we're pretty good now. I know we're going to get it done Monday. We're going to get it done for the rest of the week. And then we're going to go win our first district game. And then we're going to keep it going. So, yeah, they've been doing good, though. We coming together a lot, though.
Well, yeah. And, Coach, let's talk about these gentlemen individually, okay? Just, what Iverson's brought to the team, being a junior running back, 53 carries, 313 yards, 100 yards per game, average, a little bit over that. But just talk about what he's been bringing. Just with that little bit of speed, that burst of speed he has, and as far as from the maturity level that he's shown on the field thus far.
Yeah, when Ivo came to us, he was obviously the kids on the team knew him, but being a new kid on the block, coming in kind of during the summer and right before fall camp starts, was trying to learn everybody, learn where does he fit in, and we have, Jaden Beck's Jab, the other running back, was, I think, done a good job. He was supposed to be on this Zoom, but I couldn't get a hold of him tonight. But I think for the most part, what's really neat about those two running backs is they get along, because we know that we're going to need both of them to reach the goals that we want to reach. And I think they complement each other really well. They have different styles of how they run the football, and it's a 1-2 punch. And what I love about it, though, is they get along, they love each other, and they each want each other to have success. And with Ivo coming in, not really knowing everybody, I felt like for the team, for the most part, all it was going to take for Ivo to do was to have a breakout game, and then everybody would just, okay, I see it now, and then just kind of take him in. So, and he's done that, and he's won the respect of a lot of people. Both running backs have. So I think he might be a new guy here, but he's Waxahachie all the way now. He's ours.
Well, and LaMarcus, it looks like he's making great reads on the defensive side of the ball as well. One of the things I noticed on watching him a lot, and LaMarcus, I'm going to brag on you here, is you get that cutback responsibility on some of these stretch plays, and you're playing just like you should. You're following that play. You're not over pursuing, and you're staying back there for that cutback lane. And that's kind of a hard thing sometimes, Coach, to get a young linebacker to do.
Well, linebacker is an intuition. It's just a knack. Some stuff you just don't coach. They either have it or they don't. I got a saying, if you blink twice when the ball snaps, you're not a linebacker, you're a defensive end. So one thing that I'll say about him is he definitely has the nose for the football. He has the intuition of understanding flow versus cutback versus inside run versus outside run. And he's done a tremendous job, especially coming in new. We're not a 3-4, we're a 4-man front, a 4-2-5, and he's in this defense allows kids like him with his ability and his God-given talent to flourish, and he's done that. And he's done a tremendous job. And I'll say more than anything, you take the talent out of the window, take the intuition. Nobody plays with more passion and enthusiasm than LaMarcus. So that's what makes it fun to coach.
That's pretty awesome right there. Well, Iverson, coming back to you real quick, what is something that you've learned this year from Coach Tolley that, is going to help you propel your season on forward?
What's going to help me prepare my season? I've learned a lot of things from Coach Tolley as far as being a man. I can really say that. I've learned a lot of things about, and I've never had that as far from a coach. I've never had that. I've learned a lot of things from Coach Tolley as far as how I want to live my own life. But as far as the season goes, I learned from Coach Tolley just about how to be patient, let things come together, sit back, like just maturing as a football player. Coach Tolley's helped me a lot as maturing as a man and a football player.
Well, LaMarcus, what about you, sir? Same question.
He taught me a lot. I mean, I've been learning ever since day one when he came, and then when we start getting the football stuff done, start going. I've been learning a lot from him. And then, I mean, I learn every day from him. So I mean, like, I don't know. He just teach me a lot of that stuff, and then he teach me about life, like how to be a great man. Things gonna happen in life, and what you're gonna do. Are you gonna fall down, or you gonna get back up? And so I mean, like, he teaches everything.
Awesome. And, Coach, right before you got on, talking to the guys a little bit, understandably, 1 point loss of that, otherwise you're 3-0. A little bit upset about that. But the first thing that both young men said was, we're ready now for this second season, But you hear that as a coach, you hear them talking about life lessons, things that are making them better people. I know that has to make you feel good. And what does that say about your program as a whole with two leaders like this saying that?
Well, I just get chills hearing, especially two guys with high character like Ivo and Speed talk like that, because that's what we truly hope that we're getting accomplished, because even as there's going to be heartbreak in this life, in this world that we live in. So football teaches us life. And, I tell people all the time, football is not, life's not all about football, but football's all about life. And we had a heartbreaker, but we can't let it beat us twice. There's things in life that's going to kick us in the gut, but we can't let it kick us in the gut twice. So we can't let this game carry over into the next one. It's over. We flushed it. I'm just beyond proud of the kids and their effort, because if you empty your bucket like those kids did and you don't come out on top, there's nothing else to do but cry. And there were so many guys that just, not that they were just not manly, but it was just one of those deals where that's all they had left, because they really left it all out on the field, and and that's what they did. So it's good to hear them talk like that. And I'm so proud of them. You have no idea, like my own kids, but they're ready. They're ready for this next run, this next phase, and knock on wood, we're going to stay healthy and put up a fight in Waco here pretty soon. Well,
and that's the thing. You got Waco Friday night. That starts your district play, Coach. So what would you say was the biggest thing that, there was a lot of improvement on thus far between the offseason and these first three games?
The biggest improvement?
Yes, sir.
It's a 100% just being a team, and teaching that others become before you, which is hard in our day in society. And teaching them how to be great teammates, how to lead, how to follow, sometimes say something, sometimes not say something. I would say the biggest improvement is we're coming together slowly but surely. And at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's not about Coach Tolley. It's not about the offense. It's not about the defense. It's not about who touches the ball when. What will it take to win in this year, period? And win on Mondays, win on Tuesdays, win on Thursdays. What will it take for us to win? And if we're going to win throwing the ball, let's do it. If we're going to win running the ball, let's do it. If we're going to win, playing this coverage, that coverage, if I don't care. It doesn't matter. I just need the guys in that room, and I tell them all the time, this guys in this room could take over small country. And I truly believe that. If we'll come together and not splinter, when things go bad, we're going to be fine.
Well, in Iverson, people see the stats and stuff. You got some great stat leaders on that team. But who's that one guy on that offensive side of the ball that maybe doesn't get a lot of attention, that is just the rock solid guy for y'all that, no matter what's going on, he's going to get you fired back up in that huddle?
In the huddle?
Yeah.
Oh, because I have a personal person that gets me fired up every time.
Well, go ahead with that one.
Probably Keith Abney, every time. Every time. Keith Abney is going to get me fired up every time in the huddle. Or not in the huddle, as far as just us individuals. But we have we're really close. I mean, we came from the same school before we were at Waxahachie, so. Yeah. That's what gets me fired up every time.
Well, who's that other person that's on that squad right now, rotating in, whatever, that just is that, spark plug to get things back up and going?
In the huddle, it's probably my whole line. Everybody in the whole line, when they get to screaming and they get to be, when they start screaming and they start getting excited, then I get excited. So when they're excited for me, I'm excited for them.
Well, LaMarcus, who's that guy on that defensive side of the ball? I know it's probably you for a lot of people, okay? But who gets you pumped up, right before the game, whatever?
I'm gonna say DeMarcus Beck, cause it's just we gotta get the job done. I mean, he's a senior this year, so I mean, and once one of us mess up, we know that we gotta flush. We can't let it keep going on and on and on. We gotta flush and get to the next play. I mean, I think he's my hype man. I'm his hype man. We get it done every game.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. Well, Coach, going in this next couple of games here, I've got to see a couple of these teams during the preseason, during scrimmages and stuff like that as well. But just talk about, some of the things that you as a team need to do to keep these things going, get these wins on the board.
Well, the first thing we got to respond. We got to be able to play a good team on the road. Because great teams, they're never roller coasters. They just keep getting better and better and better. I think Ennis was a great test for us. We needed that game going in to district. It'd have been better, obviously, the momentum. But you know what? Sometimes you need to know. You learn a lot from the losses more than you do the wins. So there was some things that got magnified from the Ennis game that was great for us to see, not just for kids but coaches. And my grandma used to always tell me, if you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. And it holds true when you lose, and the little things get missed, and they're not noticeable until you lose, and they get magnified. And they got magnified, and even though as close as it was, 14-14 in regulations, hands down, I think we should have came out on top. But it was good for us to see that. It was a good test for us to go into the district. More importantly, I just want our kids to respond and get on that bus like professionals and go play a good Waco Midway team that's hungry. I know Shane Anderson, the head coach over at Waco Midway. This is a playoff game for him. He knows that our road comes through Waxahachie. He knows that. He's going to give it all he's got. He's going to throw it all into this game, and we got to be ready to play.
Well, and Coach, one of the things when we first met that impressed me about you the most was you said we were going to win with class, we were going to lose with class. And it was very evident the other night. But I just think, with what you've been able to accomplish thus far in a very short season, and just tell people, most people don't get to see the locker rooms and stuff, about the change in the culture, guys. Iverson, I'm going to go to you first. When you walk in that locker room now, does that not just set the tone for the culture with the hold the rope sign right as you walk in, with all the history of the school right there?
I personally did not know as much as I know now about Waxahachie, so I would say yes. I would say yes to the hold the rope sign. It means a lot. And then I didn't understand it because they was already saying it when I came, and I never understood it. So I'm like, what's he talking about? But then because Tylee one day just broke it down and broke down what it meant to be. What it meant to hold the rope. And now he's telling me stuff that didn't even make sense. If you hold the rope now, or if you quit now, then you're going to quit then, and you're going to quit then. And it's okay, now I get where he's trying to go with this. So I understand it now. It really means a lot. And then just to watch those guys, like watch how far we take it and watch guys just say it and how we carry it over. I get what it means, and I really just believe in it now. Like, I bought into it. I believe it.
Well, LaMarcus, the first day we met, I kind of tripped you up with that question a little bit. I put you on the spot. But just talk about, for you personally and how this team has come together and is holding that rope thus far and is ready to do it all the way through the season.
We're coming together a lot now because, when we started, it wasn't – we had to get to know everybody again. We have to come together because, we didn't have some of the guys we had last year, so we had to come together with that. And then we had to get used to having a new head coach and all that, and all the new coaches that came in too. So then, after that, though, once we got everything going, after the first game we won, and then winning against Arlington Lamar, then, I think after that, that's when it started to get going. And, since we had lost that Friday, but, now I think we should be good now. Well, I know we're going to be good now, and then we're just going to come out and then get it done from here on out.
Well, Coach, we're talking about holding the rope, and that goes for the fans as well. You got great cheerleaders. You got a great band out there getting y'all pumped up. But y'all got some big road games this year. So how much do we need the fans out there in Waxahachie to hold that rope and make sure that y'all are traveling well and get those kids pumped up by having a big section over there as well?
Oh, absolutely. First off, it's been a long time since I've been, other than a playoff game or a state championship game, where you're just looking and you're standing room only around the track. There was nothing better to see all that green in the stands and hear, Rich over there with the band and our cheer and our charmers. Those fans have no idea. And that's what makes it tough for me as a dad, as a coach, that when I see my kids hurt, I hurt for them because I know how much – LaMarcus and Ivo and Jav and DeMarcus, and I know all those kids and Rob, and they want so bad to give back to all the people who are paying that money to come see your games, to put all those hours that the band's putting in to come, and play at your games, and the girls that are all the practice hours they're doing just to cheer you on. And I make sure they understand the value of those people because they don't have to do that, but they do that to make it what it is. And so it's really fun. It's neat to see these kids really, really want the city of Waxahachie to be proud of them because that's who we're playing for. We're standing, like I told them before, we're standing on the shoulders of giants that come before us. I'm sitting in this office after great men, and they're sitting in this room, and I get an opportunity to coach kids every day, and these kids, the pressure's on us. And I tell them it's a good pressure, though, and it's good to have that on you, and you want to play for something bigger than yourself, and you want to make them proud of what you're doing, and they do, I promise you. So we need them. We need them in Waco because I don't know how. But here's the deal. I tell my kids all the time too. We have to create our own energy, and no matter if there's 10,000 or 10 or 100 in there, so we got to make sure we create our own energy. But it's always good when we see fans cheering and band playing and cheerleaders jumping and charmers dancing. So it's all good. We want to make it a home game for the Indians in Waco.
Well, I tell you what, folks, get out on the road. Make sure you're going to every one of these games this year. The Waxahachie Indians are back on the map, and they haven't been gone, man. They're just ready to go this year. Y'all got to get out there and see Iverson. Got to see LaMarcus. Coach Tolley and his staff have done an excellent job. And we at DownHome Sports just salute you, gentlemen, on such a great start to your season, and know there are bigger and better things coming for y'all as this season continues. But we want to thank y'all for joining us tonight. And, folks, make sure you get your tickets online at WISD. And you can get those tickets easily. And I do believe Coach are on the NFHS as well.
Yes, sir.
There we go. So if you don't want to miss a game, go there and find a link for NFHS as well. Well, thanks again, guys. Appreciate your time this Sunday night, and we will talk to y'all down the road. In Ennis County, you know where to go for the best pizzas and burgers.
Welcome to Doe City. How are you doing today?
A menu that allows you to have it just the way you like it. Great, friendly customer service, and all the toppings you can handle. So what do our customers say about Doe City?
We come up here all the time, so we love the pizza and the burgers also.
It's somewhere we can all come and have a good time with our friends and enjoy the good food that they have here. I love the fries.
That it's cooked to order, so you're always gonna get it fresh.
Doe City's always a great place to come and hang out with your friends.
Whether it's Tuesday or Friday night after a ball game in Ellis County, guess what? You can always make it over and have a little bit of delicious.
It's delicious.
Delicious.
It's delicious.
So come in or order out at Dough City Pizza and Burgers in Red Oak, Texas. Hey, boss.
We're welcoming in the Avalon Eagles football team. We got Coach Cole, we got Noe Hernandez, and we got Gabriel Pacheco, right?
Yes, sir.
Nice. There we go. We thank y'all for tuning in with us and taking a little bit of your evening to give us a little insight into some Avalon six-man football. So, Coach Cole, we'll start with you. I know to begin the season you scheduled 2 tough games, and then you bounced it back against Penelope and put a butt whooping on them. Talk about maybe some of the lumps you've taken early and that have been corrected and now have helped maybe steer this ship in the right direction.
Absolutely. No, the first week, we have Abbott. We've played Abbott the last 4 years and seen them in the playoffs too. I played for Coach Crawford when I was in high school, and they're so fundamentally sound. We always get better. And it's always been a competitive match. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be at that game, and not that was any reason why things didn't go our way. But, I think we learned a lot about ourselves. It was great for our coaching staff to step in and take over all those roles and kind of made us a more diverse coaching staff. As far as the players, I can't say enough about these 2 seniors that are on me. They stepped up and they led the team. Unfortunately, we didn't come out like we wanted to on the scoreboard. And then the next week, we were scheduled to play Iredale. They canceled on us, and Coach Winters, who's actually from Hermley, that's a pretty good drive up there, and so he called me and said, "Hey, let's meet up and play, Coach." And so worked out that we could play at Iredale. We were originally going to play it, and so those guys, and the style they play, it's a lot different than Abbott. Abbott is more of a grinded out physical type team. They're a finesse spread team, so that was a really good opportunity for us to see that style of football, because we're going to see all those things in our district. Milford's a finesse team. Some of those teams are, but Blum's a very physical type team. So it was good for us to see that now. And then I think we learned all about ourselves. And this week was our first week to have our full staff together and all of our players there. And I feel like we really put it all together. And it's just a compliment to the leaders of our team, our coaching staff, and all those things, putting it together to really, really have a really sound football game on Friday night.
Well, Noe, one of the big things I saw when we were down there earlier this year, seeing some of y'all's practicing, was just the emphasis on tackling. And tackling not only correctly, but driving through the tackle. In 6-man, I think tackling's a lot more important even than 11-man football. Can you just explain how that emphasis is going to help y'all throughout the year?
Well, I mean, I got trucked last week because I went too high. I didn't go low enough. I got trucked. I paid for it. So if you don't go low enough, then you're never going to get the tackle you want, and it just ain't going to work out. But, I mean, the difference, I've never played what is 11-man, so I wouldn't really know. So, I don't know. I mean,
I'm just saying, in 11-man, you got a few more guys to help you out on the back end, et cetera. So those one-on-one plays are really important, especially with somebody that's leading the team in solo tackles right now.
Well, yeah, you're going to have a lot more support with 11-man. You're going to have more players being able to help you. That's why I said you got to get low, because if you don't get low, you're not going to stop the guy. They're just going to drive right through you. And
awesome. Well, Seth, I'm going to tell you one thing. He may have got trucked once, but that guy's going to be decleating some people through the season, so don't let him fool you, okay?
Well, a coach has got to be happy because he at least admitted his mistake.
Exactly. Well, Gabriel, let's just talk about, one of the hardest things in football, no matter what style you're playing, is getting that offense running at the first of the year, because there's a lot of movement in there. There's a lot of coordination, making sure you're not cutting off pass routes too early, et cetera. How do you see the team bonding so far over these very tough games?
Well, I mean, it's more of it's just the mindset. If we don't all have the same mindset, we're never gonna handle adversity as one like we should. I was telling the guys, against Abbott, we were pretty excited, we were ready to play, but not everybody was on the same boat, and that led to a little collapse offensively with, I had trouble getting some blocks done for my quarterback and a couple of other offensive mistakes, but we handled it the next week. We got a little better at it, and this past week we really all came together to push through and handle adversity, and really we all had the same mindset. Let's win this game. Our goal wasn't necessarily the 45 just to win, but we ended up getting the 45, and we're just going to try to continue rolling on from there.
Awesome, man. Well, Coach Cole, you, like we talked about earlier, a big win this past week, but you still got a couple more games before you get into district play. What are some things maybe that you want to see shored up here as we try to get this tune-up ready before you do start that round of tough district games when you got Blum and you got MIlford? What would you like to see before you get to that point from these guys?
It's funny you say that because I was actually talking with the guys today at the very end of practice. Eric Padron threw for 296 yards against Penelope. Gabriel had 186 yards receiving, and we had like 6 receivers with 5 receptions. We had 8 passing and receiving touchdowns. So anytime you throw the ball that well, that's a great thing. But at the very end of the game, we really wanted to focus on trying to run the football, and establish a little bit more of a running game. And because I'm just type, I don't like to throw the ball when you're up. But I mean, our style is kind of, we're looking to, if you drop back, we're going to run. If you come down, we're going to throw the football. So I really want to see us get a little more physical in some aspects of our run game, be able to, grind out some clock time, because obviously we all know that if you're throwing passes and there's dropped, the clock stops. And when you get those leads, especially in 6-man, that's your opportunity to really work that clock and make the other team put the pressure on the other team to make the stop. When things are not, you get a tip pass or whatever, that clock stop, and you're not gaining that momentum and letting that clock run out. So I really want to see us get better at that over the next couple of weeks. And, defensively, I think we finally found what we're good at. We've made some serious changes to defensively over the last couple of weeks, really build upon those things and establish, we've moved some pieces around over the last couple of weeks. I think we really found the pieces we liked this last week. Now really establish that mentality in them and really hone in on those skills that we need to really be successful against those quality opponents we'll have in district.
Well, I know, Coach talks about moving pieces around, but the other part of that is those pieces gel and communicate, especially in that kind of an open field atmosphere. How important is it for y'all, and especially you, leading the team in solo tackles? I'm going to keep bringing that up because it's a pretty amazing stat with 6-man football. And I know you're kind of a humble guy, but how much communication y'all got going on that defensive side pre-snap to make sure you're in the right places and helping each other out?
Well, we have our own line of communications, and we might not speak on it a lot. Like, we might not say, hey, here the guy comes, pick him up. But, we kind of just know what everybody else is thinking. Not all the time, and you can see it if you watch one of our mistakes. And really, it's just, I mean, I would like to get a better communication style because, I mean, we're not perfect in it, but it would help a lot more people get used to it.
Well, but is there not something to be said, Noe, for being that close of a team? It seems like the team's even more bought in this year than – I'm not going to try to say anything negative about any other team, but it just seems like y'all were there. It would seem like everybody was bought in this summer. Does it not make it a little bit better in the communication when you can give that nod? When you just throw out your hand like this, and that guy knows exactly what you're talking about doing, right? And does that not show exactly how tight this defensive unit's becoming?
Yeah, it's probably the best I've seen it in a while.
Nice.
Well, Gabriel, coming over to you, guys racked up now 271 receiving yards thus far in the season. Like Coach Cole said, big chunk of that came against Penelope, but that's just signs of what's to come. When you're feeling and you're clicking with your quarterback, and like Coach Cole said, you finally got your full group together against Penelope. You'll have a full group moving forward. How does that make y'all feel now that you're hitting your stride? Do you feel like, hey, we want to be able to run the ball, but you feel good with the ball in your hands? Talk about that trust, connection with the quarterback, and also with Coach Cole of knowing that what you guys are doing is moving in the right direction?
Well, I feel very comfortable with our offense that we're running. Running the ball, I mean, we could put 3 guys back there and they can all run it perfectly fine. Throwing the ball, we got very good quarterbacks, very trustworthy quarterbacks. You could never doubt them. I mean, they just got the skill and the ability to throw the ball and give you the ball when you need it, when it's available. And the coaches always draw up really, really good plays. I, for one, I'm not perfect, so I make mistakes on my plays, and I don't get my blocks often, but I'm working on it, and that's just something that it's going to come with progress. But offensively, we're honestly we're better than I've seen in a long time. I think we can be very dangerous running the ball, passing the ball. We got quarterbacks that are just tough running the ball. Our running back game is very, very strong as well. So, I mean, but now that we're clicking, I mean, I think we got a better plan coming into this week, just by seeing what we did last week coming in, and offensively just being we're just doing our thing offensively, clicking.
Well, Coach Cole, earlier you mentioned your coaching staff. Just talk about their importance in the development of these young men, not just on the field, but off the field as well, because I know a lot of these kids look at them like uncles, dads, etc.
Yes, sir. The Coach De La Garza has been with me since 2016 when I took over as the head coach. And the first year I was calling the offense and the defense a little bit, and since then he's taken over all of our offense. And he's such a great coach, and taking concepts even from the 11-man game and translating them down to what we do. He's a very spread-oriented person. And that's ironic because, like I said, I played for Coach Crawford back in the day, so I was line it up and grind it out. And so we butted heads a little bit early on, but the thing is I've learned what he does is best for our kids. And I think as a coach, you have to step back and realize that what you're doing has to be best for your kids and not what you just want to do. And he's really good at putting those ideas in play, and we've really taken off offensively since then. Had some great offensive years, put up a lot of good numbers in the years past. Coach Romero is one of my former athletes from back when I was coaching under Coach Davis there at Avalon, and he relates to the kids so well. I think it's, as you get older, I think he's that younger coach that can really understand the things they're talking about, great at communicating those things to me. And his strength is really in that strength and conditioning aspect of things. He loves that stuff. And the work that these 2 guys and the other guys have put in this summer, it has been instrumental in our success and growing so far. Even though they may not have shown up on the scoreboard, what I kept telling the guys is you're physically winning battles. You're able to physically line up and win those battles. The scoreboard's not quite showing it yet because we still got some mistakes to correct, but he's really putting that emphasis on the strength and conditioning aspect, get stronger, get faster, and really able to install a mentality of physicality in them. And it's just a great combination that we have amongst us. And my strength will always be in the defensive side of the ball. That's just what I've always done. So it's a great mesh of things, and we all have our strength, and we rely on each other. And what we're hoping is that same mentality will boil down to our kids, where they learn to lean on each other's strengths, and that can help mask our weaknesses in places that we do have them. So it's a great concept. I mean, case in point, against Hermley, Coach De La Garza wasn't there. I'm calling offense, and I'm deer in the headlights at times. I hadn't done it in so long. I'm like, wow, this ain't my side of the ball. I'm supposed to be doing the other side, So, and I told the guys afterwards, I said, man, guys, I'm sorry. I'm just not. I did it on one day's prep on it, and I was like, goodness, that strength and weakness things we really can play on moving forward. So.
Awesome. Well, Coach Cole, I'm coming back to you. I want you to dig in a little bit on these guys that you brought with you, and Gabriel and Noe. Both of them very, very willing, very humble, and admitting some mistakes, but talking about the closeness of this team, the hard work, and like Gabriel said, getting after some of those other guys, picking them up. Noe on the defensive side, same thing. Talk about these 2 gentlemen you brought with you and what they mean to the team and how they help you out, because I know if you're trying to do it by yourself, it makes it tough. And when you've got athletes that buy in, it makes it a heck of a lot easier. Can you speak about these gentlemen a little bit?
Sure. I'll start with Gabriel. Gabriel is one heck of a football player. Great receiver. Probably one of the best receivers. I coached his brother, and his brother's pretty good. But he's probably one of the best receivers as far as his hands go, his ability to use his body and get up in the air. Great vertical jump as far as going up and getting the football. In fact, he took a touchdown away from one of his teammates because he went up and just got the ball at the highest point. And that's impressive stuff right there. So, but he's really turned into that offensive guy to say, hey, let's get down the ball. We know we can put the ball in his hands down the field, and he can make a play with it. Noe is the same boat. I've coached Noe for all 4 years in high school. He's as a freshman, I put him out there as our starting safety, and he just bought in. And he's the little guy out there running around, but by gosh, he wasn't afraid to come hit somebody or try to make a play on the ball. And the thing about them the most that I really respect is they've always willing to admit their mistakes. It's so much easier to coach when you have kids that when you try to correct them on something, it's not combative. It's like, hey, coach, I got this. My bad. I'll get it fixed. And they understand that mistakes are a part of the game. But it's our job, even though it may be small, minute details, but it's our job to fix those things because only they're going to make us better. And when you have guys that buy into that, hey, I'm not perfect, just like we know as coaches, we're not going to be perfect. But if we all can admit that, we're only going to get better as time goes on because we can truly understand one another and we can truly build upon the success that we're having and get better.
Well, and Noe, we're going to jump to you real quick, but, when you're playing high school ball, especially in small town Texas, right, you're a superstar and you have a chance to really influence younger kids, those elementary kids, those junior high kids. How do you take those opportunities and relay the message of what it means to be from Avalon to those kids about the hard work, the dedication, the drive, and the things that you do?
Well, it's just, I wish I could do it more and show them if they just try harder or if they just take time to listen, the things will come out their way. But, other than that, I really haven't, been able to talk to that many of them. So, it's just it's a hard question to answer.
I don't know, man. Well, Gabriel, what about you? Do you have an opportunity to affect those young people's lives down there?
I do what I can. I don't always get the time to, even though there's times when I have been able to, and I don't even know. But when I get an opportunity, I always try to do my best. Like in the Penelope game, when I caught those passes, those touchdown passes, I would hear the little ones, the junior high that played before us, they'd sit there and I'd come back and I can hear them, talking, all positivity and whatnot and my effect on them. And, I really appreciate it. And, it makes me feel good, but it also makes me understand that, I have a role to play when it comes to being a part of this team. And as a senior, I got a lot of responsibility to make sure that I can lead these kids and I can be a good example, maybe not a perfect example, but I can be a good enough example for them to follow.
Coach Cole, that's got to make your heart swell that these guys have actually thought about this. Most players don't, until after it's all said and done. But, just talk about the town and, most towns in Texas, football team's the heartbeat, okay? But how these kids are around the town. I know you try to get them to do community service, stuff like that. And you try to keep them active and everything. Just talk how the program's, paving the way to build and do better things for the young folks there in Avalon.
Well, first thing I want to say is Noe talks more. He talks all the time, so I don't know what he's so scared about talking. So you can mark that out. Cut that out. But Noe talks all the time, so I don't know what he's so scared about. I love you, Noe.
So you're going to tell him to be quiet from now on in the field, or?
No, I'm going to keep talking. Hey, these guys are just talking to me, so you're good. Anyway, cut that out. But no, the question you asked about the town, our community is such a tight-knit community. When your superintendent might as well be your mayor. Mr. Marshall might as well be our mayor of our town and stuff like that. So I think anytime you have a small town like that, and football plays such a big part of that. My best memory there was it 2 or 3 years ago when we won our first. Well, I guess it'd been 2016. We won our first district championship ever in football, and that was great. And then 2 years ago, we beat Milford for the district title, undefeated season at our
season.
Something that never happened before. We never beat Milford, never finished undefeated, and there was people there that from like 10, 15 years ago that graduated that were out there in the middle of the field just so excited to be a part of what we were doing. And it was a heartwarming moment. Noe was there. I think Gabriel was there too. It was a moment you'll never forget. And I think football is by no means the most important thing, especially with everything going on in society right now and the sicknesses that are going around. And, I pray every day that, we can find a way to end this stuff. But, with all that going on, football is a way to bring everyone together and really bring these small communities together and celebrate accomplishments of our kids and our community and just really bond together in sometimes even in hard times. So
awesome. Well, Coach, y'all got Walnut Springs, don't you? This coming Friday at home?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, we wish y'all the best of luck. We thank y'all, Gabriel, Noe, for joining us and giving us a little peek behind the curtain. Y'all go get Walnut Springs, and then we cannot wait for district to get rolling around. And I know y'all got a big game in October that we cannot wait to see. And so, but best of luck. Hopefully you'll come back on and join us again. But thank y'all so much, and y'all go give them heck. We know y'all are going in the right direction.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks. Thank you.
The battle to belong begins here, among the few, the proud, the Marines. proud, the Marines.
Volleyballs. We would like to welcome in the Maypearl Volleyball team. We've got Coach Jim Wood, we've got Maddie Robinson, and we've got Victoria Sutherland joining us tonight. We appreciate y'all taking time out of your busy schedules. I know, ladies, y'all have got to probably be going to bed soon because y'all stay on top of your game. But we'll get y'all in and out. And so, Coach Wood, come to you first. 15-10 so far in the year, 2-0 to start district. Congratulations on that. But one thing I want to get with you about is you played a bunch of tough teams early in the year.
Yes.
And I know some of those games didn't go the way you wanted to, but it seems like it's starting to pay off now the district's playing. Was that part of the old plan? How was it in your mind, and how did it help to play such a tough non-district schedule to start the season?
Well, I typically try to schedule a tougher non-district schedule to help us into district and then help us going into the playoffs. Playing the Glen Rose tournament, that's always a very highly competitive tournament, and playing a lot of big schools there and schools that are our size and very, very competitive. In the Rio Vista tournament, we met up with Fairfield, and matter of fact, in two of the tournaments we played, the team that won the tournament were in our pool. So it's been good for us, and the girls have learned a lot. We've been real competitive. Yes, I would have liked to have won some more games there, but we've learned a lot. We've used that to help us grow and get stronger.
Now, does it also help? I noticed that y'all got Grandview in a tournament as well. Does it help now because you'll have those guys twice in district to play them early on and kind of get a feel of what you're going to be looking for here down the road?
Oh, absolutely, and I'm sure it helps them out too. But yes, it definitely helps to where we can be more prepared next time we play them.
Well, Victoria, we're going to look at your stat line real quick. What we got so far on you is 58 kills, 35 aces, and 54 digs on the season. Okay, those numbers are getting up there. But the thing that interests me is I've always thought Maypearl has been a great serving team. This game is so reactive, and if you serve well, it doesn't let the other team get a good set going. How important has that been when you've got Lauren over there? I mean, between the two of you, you're almost at, 90 aces on the year on the serves.
I think a lot of the games we've played, have won due to our serving. We've always been a very aggressive serving team, and I think that really gets us jumping on the ball before the game even starts. And whenever you're giving that team that hard of a serve, they don't have time to react. They don't have time to keep that ball in play. They don't have time to get it back over, and it just makes your job so much easier.
Well, I'll tell you what, the only thing I ever learned was the archer serve, and I can't do it like y'all do, okay? But, Maddie, just talk about, going through these tournaments and stuff, right? These tournaments are going to build that bond, that sisterhood. Talk about the sisterhood with the team and how tight y'all are actually reacting with each other right now.
As of right now, we're kind of in the beginning of our season, and we're started district. And this year so far, I've formed better relationships with my team because we're all supportive. We're all cheering for each other no matter what play, what dig, what set it is. We're always, you got this, these plays and these friendships that I formed with my team in these tournaments. I mean, after a game, we're just relaxing and we talk and laugh, and then we talk about what we need to work on. It's just something that I really appreciate.
So,
well, Coach Wood, give us the rundown on these two ladies you brought on with you, both captains of your team. What individually do they bring to the squad, and what helps? What attributes do they have that help strengthen this team, maybe off the court as well, in a more mental or leadership role?
They both bring different things to the table, but ultimately they bring a lot of leadership. They bring a lot of dedication and hard work. They lead by example more than they do anything else. They were at summer workouts all summer long. They lead by example also in the classroom. Keeping our grades up is very big for me. for 6 years in a row now, we've gotten the Team Academic Award through the American Volleyball Coaches Association.
Awesome.
So that's a big deal also. But they just bring so much to the table and so much experience. They have a lot of varsity experience. They have a lot of club experience. And they dedicate themselves not only to the sport, but to the team and to the program.
It's awesome right there. Well, Maddie, I'm going to go a little bit askew now. We're going to do a little fun question because it's always my favorite thing to ask. Who's that person when you're on these road trips that's getting the aux cord, has the speaker, trying to get coach to do TikToks, and just getting the girls all fired up in the back of that bus?
Honestly, there are so many of them. We're all just kind of pushed together. We're like, hey, do this. Oh, this music. I'd probably have to say Haley Arterberry. She is
that's
always
exactly
the one,
what I was
on
thinking.
It's always a fun road trip with her.
Awesome. And back to you, Maddie. Just so I'm going to know, have y'all been able to get Coach Wood to do a TikTok yet?
Not that I know of.
We didn't get him to do the hip hop. We got the hip hop down.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one, yeah.
Well, you got a great volleyball coach when he'll do a TikTok with you. I tell you that right there.
Yeah,
okay.
It's like his favorite move now.
Awesome. Well, and Victoria, one of the things I've seen based on some of the things I've seen about the team thus far is y'all seem to be playing a lot stronger this year in the middle. It seems like that's kind of coming together a little bit from a little bit of the footage I've seen, and that creates some bad angles for other people to take shots. When we're looking at 54 digs, is your front line doing a great job? It just seems like they're doing a great job of funneling those back to y'all to get those digs out.
Yeah, I agree. One of our middles came back from an ACL surgery. She's been working as hard as she could, and she's came back to where she was last year. She's up there. She's putting up a big block every time. Our other middles putting up a big block. Our pin hitters are putting up blocks. So I always know, they have me covered. If I see that they're blocking there, I'm not going to stand there. I'm going to go around it. You know what I mean? I really rely on the people up front, and they haven't let me down.
Well, Coach Wood, when you talk about you're looking at 2-0 in district right now, 15-10 on the year, all positives. You talked about, the tough schedule and some of the teams, some of the games you wish you would have got. But now even where you are sitting in a good position, first place in district, even though it's early, what are maybe some things that you would like to see improvement on? We can always get better. You're still striving towards that goal. But if you had to take a step back and say, this is an area where I think we need to improve on, what would that be?
I think just a little bit more consistency overall. Our serving's been really good. Whenever we can get a good first pass, I think our offense really, really clicks well. Just a little bit more consistency overall. There's not any one big glaring thing that stands out. Just little things here and there, and we work on those quite a bit. You talking about the digs and stuff, we've emphasized a little bit more blocking this year to try to make it easier for our back row defense. We've emphasized the serve. I've always emphasized the serve a lot, but we've emphasized that a little bit more this year too, and that's starting to pay off somewhat. But when we get a good first pass, we're hard to stop.
Well, Maddie, I want to come down to you, and while what you see in the record book or coming in on the district scoreboard is great, but all that preparation starts somewhere, and it goes back to the practice and the effort that you guys are putting in behind the scenes. Talk about what you ladies are doing, the type of practice Coach Wood is putting on, and the hard work maybe that not a lot of people get to see, but that reflects out there on the court when you do play a game.
Yes, sir. When our practices, we started up the season, knew we were going to need a little more help in the back row and defense. So Coach Wood has always been harping on us and encouraging us to improve this. And we do so many drills, and he spends his own time and trying to find these drills that would work or just a bunch of different techniques so that we can improve on this. Because like he said, once we get our first pass, we're pretty unbeatable. But we run our practices with a lot of defense work and doing a lot of the same things and not just going through the motions, but actually focusing on what am I doing and how am I doing this so I can do it correctly in a game.
Awesome, man. That's great. Well, Victoria, okay, one of the best hits. I'm going to ask you this one too, okay? So what's better? What gets everybody more fired up? That great dig or that perfect kill right down that girl's face?
And that's a hard one. It really is. I think it just kind of depends on where you're at in the game. Because whenever we're going up against hard teams, the chances of getting a perfect kill are pretty slim to none, honestly, with the defense that they have. But whenever you're going up against that girl that's 6'4", 6'5", and you up one of her balls, I don't think there's a feeling anything better than that. Maybe it's just because I play front row, and so I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, heck yeah, I just passed the ball. I think it'd be no different than if a DS went up there and hit a banger, you know what I mean? I think it just kind of all depends where you're at the court and what you're interested in as an individual.
Well, and Coach, one of the things that I will say about Maypearl is, especially the volleyball program that I've seen over the years, is your teams have always fought for every point. There is no give on any point whatsoever. And you don't see that all the time in a volleyball program. How have these players that you've had that have come before these young ladies, and how have these young ladies left that legacy of that pride in the program thus far?
I think it's a tradition thing. The girls that have played before them, they want to play just as hard. They want to accomplish just as much. And that's where I think it stems from. And success seems to build success, and with the success we've had here, we've had so many talented girls come through here, and we've had so many girls just work so hard, both on the court and off the court. I think the girls that are here now and the ones that are coming up want to work just as hard, if not harder, to keep that tradition going.
Well, and Maddie and Victoria, I'm going to come to Maddie first and then Victoria to you. But one of the big things to me is I don't think a lot of high school players realize this until you get to your senior year. But you're really mentors, you're superstars to those little kids down in junior high and elementary. How much does it mean to you to inspire other young women in your community to want to achieve greatness? Maddie, we'll start with you.
Oh, it means everything. Coaching, besides playing, is my next best thing. It's just as good as a feeling. So when I can help someone or someone on the team, or maybe even someone that wants to be in varsity in 5 years, it's a further distance than others. It's an amazing feeling. I love helping people and helping them achieve this greater success as both an athlete, a teammate, and as a person as a whole. Yeah, I love being a mentor to these people, and I can't wait to see how far they go.
Awesome. Well, Victoria, what about you?
I definitely agree with Maddie. The feeling of these little kids looking up to you is an unmatchable feeling, knowing that I used to be that little kid that looked up to the older kids. And being new to the district last year, being my first year, I've met so many new underclassmen, and they've all been so willing, like eager to learn and eager to get better. And they look at us and it's just like, oh my gosh, it's like they're drooling. And it's such a good feeling knowing that they think I'm good. They think I'm cool. You know what I mean? And that gives me the opportunity to say something that actually means something to them. I feel like hearing something over and over and over again from a coach is one thing, but whenever you hear it from someone different, someone you actually maybe you actually care a little bit more about their opinion, they're more willing to listen, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't know, the feeling of knowing that I have a place in someone else's life younger than me and their future as a volleyball player, a student, an athlete, it's an amazing feeling.
That's awesome. Both those answers very, very well done. I know Coach has got to be proud. Coach, give us a rundown, your upcoming schedule. I know you guys are in the middle of the district, but what are some games you got coming up, some home games? Maybe we can get some people out to come watch you guys.
Well, we got 2 road games this week, and then we go through a stretch of after this week of 4 home games, 2 weeks of home games. And we start off our road trip with Grandview a week from this Tuesday. So that's going to be a big one. And then we'll finish up the first round of district and just start the second round of district with all home games.
Well, awesome. Awesome.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, I ain't going to say the name because we don't say that other name. Okay. Not in my household, at least. So all I can tell you, ladies and coach, is go out and whoop up on them. All right.
We're going to do our best.
And so, well, we wish y'all the best of luck. We thank y'all for coming on, Coach. If it's just a glimpse into it with these two young ladies, you've got great kids down there. I think you know that, and it's reflective. Maddie, Victoria, thank y'all so much for coming on. We wish y'all the best of luck. We know you're going to beat the heck out of the team not to be named, and we can't wait to watch it. But good luck the rest of the season. Hopefully, we can have y'all back on for some updates and talking about a few dubs against that no good team to the south. So, thank y'all so much, and we'll have y'all on again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With today's busy schedules, we need flexibility. Pinnacle Bank is the way banking should be. With ATM Live, powered by the people. They have hours that make it easy. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can just pull up to one of the easy-to-access ATMs, where there's always someone live, friendly, and knowledgeable to help you. Pinnacle Bank, not just another bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC. County, you know where to go for the best pizzas and burgers.
Welcome to Doe City. How are you doing today?
A menu that allows you to have it just the way you like it. Great, friendly customer service. And all the toppings you can handle. So what do our customers say about Doe City?
We come up here all the time, so we love the pizza and the burgers also.
It's somewhere we can all come and have a good time with our friends and enjoy the good food that they have here. I love the fries.
And it's cooked to order, so you're always going to get it fresh.
Doe City's always a great place to come and hang out with your friends.
Whether it's Tuesday or Friday night after a ball game in Ellis County, guess what? You can always make it over and have a little bit of delicious.
It's delicious.
Delicious.
It's delicious.
So come in or order out at Doe City Pizza and Burgers in Red Oak, Texas.
We are welcoming Midlothian Heritage Jaguars football team. We got Coach Wig, we've got Caden Brown, and we've got Greg Johnson joining us. We appreciate y'all taking time out of your evenings. I know y'all are very, very busy, but Coach, we'll start with you. Coming off 3-0 to start the season, and let's just say y'all like to win by, let's say, an average more than 20, which is great feeling got to be to start this year off. Talk about how you're sitting. I know 3-0 has got to be good, but overall, looking at the team, taking scores out of it, how do you feel your team's progressed from the start of camp now to 3 games in?
Yeah, great question, because, we really came into the season, I would say with as many questions as I've ever been around at the start of the season. There was very few positions that we felt really strong about coming in, just a lot of question marks, a lot of hopefuls, but a lot of question marks. And, coming into these 3 games, these 2 guys who, Greg's played a ton of varsity snaps for us and been a great player for us a long time. Caden, this first year playing quarterback, but was a great player for us last year as a sophomore. But they'll be the first to tell you that it's been far from beautiful, right? I mean, it's Texas high school football. Playing great teams, you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna have things that don't go beautifully every snap. But in terms of where we are and far where we've progressed, it's been fun to watch how hard this team plays. They just there's no egos. They go out there. They've been incredibly focused both in practice and in the games. When things have not gone well, they've bounced back and been ready for the next snap. They've competed from the first snap to the end at an extremely high level. And it's been fun to watch them do that, just really compete, but improve as well. It was, you go in and that first game, we're playing Everman and they score first play of the game, and then just to see them respond to that and just improve by the day, by the minute, by the snap has been fun to watch.
Now, Greg, I'm going to come to you real quick because everybody shows a quarterback love, but let's talk about the team's leading tackler right now. This defense has played great to start the year. Most points y'all given up so far, 23 in the first game. And then you bounce back and allowed 7 and 14. And I know it helps when you're scoring points, but talk about on the defensive side of the ball, how you guys are clicking, especially so quick to start the year and holding these teams to so few points.
Well, I go back to 2-a-days when we were working, we were running, staying in shape. And then we go to 7-on-7 when we're working our defense, all our coverages. It's a process because our defense is young. So it takes time for us to gel together, get the calls in. Communication is key. So the first game, it started off rough. But as we got it going and we started communicating with each other, it got easier and easier and easier. And throughout the 3 games, we've been doing very good as a defense together.
Well, Caden, you talk about an offense. It always takes offense a little bit longer normally to get going, okay? But I'm one of these guys, I like talking about where the brisket hit the blacktop, and that's that O-line. They've been giving you some time, but you've had to use your feet some this year. We've seen some great plays of you scrambling and getting out there and hitting some people deep when the coverage breaks down. Just talk about how that unit is progressing, because I don't think you've hit your full stride as of yet.
Yeah, we knew the O-line would be young and stuff, and I think there's only one returning starter, and all the rest are new. And I'll tell you, they're getting better every single game, getting better and better. And some of the times I just scramble because I shouldn't even be doing it, just be staying in the pocket longer. But yeah, they're getting better by the games.
Yeah.
Well, awesome.
Well, how much does that help you, though? I mean, having those wheels to buy a little bit of time to get some of these receivers down there for some of those big explosive plays that y'all been able to complete.
I mean, yeah, it helps a lot because on scramble drill, a lot of times it is explosive plays because it's like a double move basically. And you scramble out there and out and up or something like that.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, Coach, talk about, you did lose a lot of people in that offensive line over the past 2 years. I mean, you've had some great linemen. I think half of them are down at the University of Houston right now. But, just talk about, because that's one of the quintessential parts of getting your game going. And I know y'all have a big focus on that line. Just talk about how they've been able to mature thus far, because I think that as they progress, so is your team going to be able to progress and be able to take that step further.
No doubt, and it's been fun, just watching the leadership emerge in that offensive line. Again, they both said, we're a very young team, but incredibly young up front, and even younger than that when you talk experience. Just varsity snaps, I mean, it's almost non-existent. So it's been fun. We played 3 good defenses, totally different defenses. We're about to play another really, really, really good one Friday night, but it's just been fun seeing them. And Greg talked about it defensively, but what they're starting to do better is communicate, and that's part of the process when you're young. You get out on the field, and the first part of it is you're going to be a varsity football player, right? And you've prepared and you've dreamt of this day your whole life. But then the reality sets in, and you get on the field and you really just don't want to screw up, so you're trying to do your job right, and that during that phase is when there's tons of mistakes taking place. It's once they've been in there and they start to say, okay, you know what, I think I can actually do this. That's when they start realizing that to play the game, it's about, are all 11 of us going to do right? So then they start communicating, and then they start, having fun in the communication and putting themselves in good position. So it's, really as the offensive line has gotten better over the first 3 games, the communication has gotten better. And you said we've got a lot of room for improvement. We have a ton of room. And in that area of communication is where it will all come back to.
Now, Coach, I'm going to come to you, and then maybe Gus can help me out as well, or Greg, I'm sorry. I was watching Hard Knocks the other day, and they had Dan Quinn out there with boxing gloves working on forcing the ball out, and y'all have 7 recovered fumbles. So I want to know, did he steal that from you?
No, he didn't steal it from us, but we work a ton on that on both sides of the ball. When our guys, we're going through 2-a-days the entire time, we're out there stretching, and there's constantly people, our skill guys have balls, and constantly trying to knock the balls out. All the ball security drills with all our skill guys that we do. And then defensively, we're going to do turnover circuits, turnover drills every single day, and we just firmly believe as a program that, we feel like that our guys, when it gets to when it matters, and we're not there yet, right? We're in non-district play. It's been good playing great football teams, and it's been a great test for us. But the reality is it doesn't matter at this point. We can win them all or lose them all, and you're still 0-0. But when it gets to when it matters, we firmly believe that games are going to be won by turnover ratio, by explosive plays. So we devote a lot of time to that, and our guys, they just really have done a great job of forcing them, but then also fighting to recover them.
Now, Greg, to add on that from the player's perspective, do you really get that sense and get that feel by the additional reps, especially on creating turnovers, forcing fumbles in 2-a-days and in practice? I mean, on paper you see it transition, but as a player, do you really feel like that stuff has made an impact and a difference for your turnover game when you get into an actual game?
I do feel like it has made a big difference because we work turnovers and getting the ball out every day, as well as tackling. So the tackling factors in where the fumble comes in. So we work it we work it repetitively. So I feel like that helps us every game.
Well, Caden, I mean, you step into the Midlothian Heritage quarterback spot this year, and just talk about, I mean, you know the history. You know the guys that have been there before that have done an exceedingly good job. You know, how do you think that you're leaving your personal mark this year on this team?
I just go in every single game, not thinking about stats or any of that kind of stuff, and just trying to win. And honestly, I'm just trying to be the best team that Heritage has ever had and go the farthest we've ever gone.
Man, if that ain't a succinct and to-the-point answer, and I love it.
Well,
Yeah.
and if it's any heritage history, you'll go further than you've gone. I think that's the tradition. You just get better every year. Well, Coach Wigg, sliding back over to you, talking about the offense in particular and having Caden, it seems like y'all are really, really balanced as far as your pass and rush ratio. And a lot of that starts with that young man to your left. But talk about how this offense, even this early in the year, has been able to be consistent and be that dual threat where you're not having to lean heavy on the pass. You're not having to turn around and lean heavy on your rushing attack, that y'all have been able to kind of find that middle ground, and it's worked to some great success thus far.
Yeah. Well, we hope, the way we practice and the way we, put our program together is, we're going to go into every season and then throughout our preparation, if you're ever at a practice, we're going to prepare every single game as that we're going to have to run the ball every snap. And we're also preparing as though every play is going to be a pass play. So we go into games saying that we've got to be able to win with what they're giving us. So if a team is going to find a way to stop the run, then we've got to be able to beat them in the passing game. And if a team is going to sit back there and cover the pass, then we've got to be able to run for 300 yards against them. And that's how we design the offense. That's how we prepare, and then that's how we go out there and play. And obviously, for that to take place, you've got to have guys making plays. And Caden kind of hit the nail on the head. If you asked me to describe what he is, I would just say he's a ball player. He's a competitor. He's a guy that's just trying to go out there and help his team win. And, I think his personality at the position really sums up this team. There's a lot of times that I've coached that people want to worry about, how many yards did you rush for? How many receiving yards, how many pass yards, how many tackles, how many interceptions, and you just don't hear that with these guys. There's records that are being set with this young team already this year. They don't care about it. All they care about is, do they get to go play another down? And they enjoy getting out there on the field, and it's just fun to watch them and fun to be around them, because it's truly how they prepare and how they play daily is that attitude. Just very selfless.
Well, and Greg and Caden, I'm going to come to both of y'all and have to give both of you a chance to answer this. But from an outsider looking in, and Coach Wigg, not saying that he doesn't have fun every season, okay? But it just seems like he's having more fun this season to me, okay? Little grins and stuff on the sideline. It seems like the way that y'all bought in has probably excited him even more this year. How would you say that's being manifested in the way that he's coaching this year? Greg, we'll start with you.
I feel like Coach Wigg is a very great coach. He is the leader of the team. I feel like he hasn't changed. Throughout the years I've been on varsity, I feel like he's remained consistent and nothing has changed. So I always enjoy him, and I hope for another successful year.
There we go. Caden?
Yeah. Same thing as Greg. I mean, I feel like, I've only played varsity last year. I feel like he's been the same throughout all the years, even my freshman year, all the way to junior year.
Well, yeah. Coach, maybe that's just because I kind of known you a little bit longer. It just seems like you're having a great time this year. Just little things I see here and there, watching the game.
Yeah, and I do, and I am enjoying it. I love being around these guys. What they get to see is that they're around me 24/7, right? So they get to know. You get to see when the icing is being put on the cake.
Yeah,
they're around during the preparation part. One thing that they know is that we're not going to leave any stone unturned. And it's throughout the week, we go through our Monday grind of practice, and it's this game is the single biggest game of our lives and biggest game of the Heritage program, and they know that that's how we approach every second of every day. So there's not a lot of dandelions being picked throughout the week. So
when you're saying the smiles, they see the smiles, but they also see all the work that they're putting in and that everyone in the program's putting in on a daily basis. So that's what, what I'm seeing is really, it's just age, Tater. The older I get, I just appreciate these young guys so much more. And I appreciate all the sacrifices they make and all the things they do to represent their community in the way that they do. And it's fun to see all that they sacrifice and give, and then for them to get to go out there and have some success. That's the part that I enjoy.
Well, one of the big things about the Heritage program over there is this last week, Coach, we're going to stick with you on this one. This last week, y'all got to, as a campus AD, you got to celebrate the girls' state championship deal and getting their rings and stuff. And then this last game, you, of course, reached the 150 win plateau and as a program underneath your tutelage. And what does that say to you about not necessarily your coaching, but I know you put a lot of faith in these young men and the program, your coaches. I mean, to me, it says a lot about the leadership that you've shown over the years to reach that in such a fast term. So would you mind speaking to that just a little bit?
Well, yeah, it's very simple to do. It's just it really comes down to a lot of great people, a lot of great coaches on this campus who've come on this campus and have bought into the vision and the dream and have worked so hard to help, foster an environment of success in everything they do. And then these guys like sitting here with us today that just bought in and for, 7 years now, this campus just worked so hard. And, we had a dream when it opened that, we would create a campus to where if you were in something, the expectation was, if you're going to be in it, let's go ahead and be great at it, and that's kind of how they carry themselves daily. It's, and I think this season so far, and this, I think we talked earlier, this team could go 3-7 very easily and would be a great football team.
Yeah.
I mean, because we have 7 opponents that are ahead of us that are amazing, just as the 3 were that we already played. So it doesn't mean I'm not going to, if they go 10-0 or if they go 3-7, it won't change the amount of pride I have in the way that they work and the way this program is. But it sums up this campus this season right here. When you talk about how young the team is, and you talk about how little experience it is, and then they just kind of keep on keeping on. They just kind of they expect to find a way. It doesn't mean we always will. It doesn't. We haven't a ton of times, and we won't this year. I mean, there'll be times that we certainly don't. But it's not going to be for lack of effort on their part or all those coaches who in all the different sports have had such success.
Understood that.
Well, awesome. Well, Coach Wigg, Greg, and Caden, we appreciate y'all taking time out of your evenings again to sit down with us and wish you the best of luck. Y'all got something special rolling. I think you know it, but like you said, Coach, we can tell by talking to these 2 young men that they've got their heads on right. And we can't wait to watch y'all play. Y'all got Melissa Friday night, I believe, 7:30. It's an away game. We wish y'all the best there and can't wait y'all to bring it back home and hopefully get the district started off right here in the next few weeks and when the games start to really matter. And so not that they don't matter now, but I know y'all are ready for district to start. But thank y'all so much, and we can't wait to have y'all back on and just go get them for us. We're rooting for you.
Elite Tire and Automotive. Ever have one of those days and just need a little hand? Well, with our remote services, we'll just hop right on it. Get you back on the road quick and easy. With automotive services to cover all your mechanical needs. Need that state inspection done? Well, we can do that too. So roll on in and see a friendly face. Give us a call and we can be right on the spot to assist you. So trust the friendly folks down at Elite Tire and Automotive, 972-775-1055.
We're welcoming in. We got a good one, Tater.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we got Maypearl Football. Now, Coach Riepe, I'm going to turn it over to you. Why don't you go ahead and give us a little introduction to these 2 gentlemen you got sitting on either side of you.
All right, to my left, I got Timmy Gracie, plays running back and linebacker for us. And to my right, I got Heath Raisler, plays receiver, running back, and safety for us. Both of them are seniors.
Well, I think everybody in the county is afraid to say Heath's last name except for me. But, Anyways, well, Coach, you come out, you got your first 2 games in. There's basically, I think most coaches agree, there's 3 parts to every season. There's those first couple games, then you start working toward district, and then the playoffs. How do you feel like this first section of the season is going for y'all thus far?
We've gotten better since the first game. We executed a lot better this second game against Clifton. The first one, we on defense, we missed a lot of tackles. Offense, we didn't block as well as we could have, and didn't execute as well as we should have on offense. This week, we did a lot better. So we got to improve again next week. This week against Grand Saline, going into our first district game next week versus Grandview.
Well, and Heath, me and the senior this year, the one thing I'm going to go back to the Ferris game, okay? We were there. We got some footage of it and everything. Y'all competed to the end. What is it that is getting y'all that fired up? I mean, y'all don't give up. I don't see y'all taking plays off or anything like that. What is Coach Riepe instilled in the program that is having y'all fight always that hard?
That's just all about our work ethic, and that we can't just give up, because we got to get better for the next game and the next team. Because if we let up, then we're getting worse and we're not getting better.
Nice. Well, Timmy, coming to you, and Coach talked about maybe some little things that needed to be corrected. On the defensive side of the ball, it looks like y'all corrected it pretty well. Going 21 skunk on Clifton last week. Talk about the maybe the changes and the improvements from week 1 to week 2, and now how y'all guys feel defensively. And I know offense, 21 points, has got to be feeling pretty good too. But to skunk a team in high school Texas football is pretty special. Talk about how that defensive feels.
Yeah, so it was just against Ferris, we had a lack of communication, lack of reading the hips whenever we were breaking down for a tackle. And going into the Clifton game, we implemented that a lot into practice. And going into that Clifton game, we just kept up in the game what we did in practice, really.
Well, Coach, I want to ask from your standpoint, when you talk about some of the things getting corrected, a lot of time when you're dealing with kids, heck, even grown men, sometimes there's a failure to make those switches from one game to another. When you see your guys come out and from week 1 and week 2, you have that stark difference. Tibby talks about communication and the improvement there. How does it make you feel when you see these guys make that quick of a turnaround and really take the coaching to heart? And that way it doesn't take a couple weeks to get it figured out. You don't have to wait till district starts for these guys to get a handle on what needs to be changed. They made that connection. They made that switch like that. How does that make you feel as a coach?
It makes me feel good. Glad they're listening, taking the coaching. Old saying, if you're getting coached hard, it's because we love you. And if I'm not saying anything to you, then, you're probably not as important anymore. So coaches are coaching them hard. Timmy brought it up. We missed a lot of tackles. We had 44% missed tackles against Ferris. This week against Clifton, we had 17% missed tackles. I mean, that right there will win you a game, not missing tackles. And obviously, especially if you want to shut a team out, you can't miss tackles. That just gives them an opportunity to go score, get first downs, and continue drives. And, we preach that a lot. Third down this year is a big down for us. We call it our money down and try and get off the field.
Well, Heath, I want to come to you and talk about the physicality of this team on defense and on offense in the district that you guys play week in and week out. I mean, it is hard-hitting football, and it seems like y'all really embody of getting down in the trenches and just trying to blow people up. Talk about the Panther mentality and the physicality that you guys play the game with.
Yeah, that just goes back to summer all the way to now. I mean, they made it important that our trenches had to be good and that our linemen had to be physical and that everyone had to be physical. And we play fast and tough every single play, and we go balls to the wall every single play.
Well, and Timmy, going back on that, just talk about the buy-in this summer. We had the chance to come out and catch one of y'all's workouts this summer. And just talk about that buy-in, not only from the varsity level, but all the way down. I mean, the day that we were there were probably, I'd say, 40 kids out there on the field while y'all were in the weight room. And having been, with Maypearl and seeing the program grow, how much do you think that this year's varsity team has instilled that Panther pride back in the community?
It was a lot of our seniors. they stepped up this year with the whole leadership, just getting the whole program going with all these younger guys for the future generation. That's really a big goal that our coaches has helped us have.
Nice. Awesome, man. Well, Coach, I mean, you got a small senior class this year. It's not that big, but just talk about, and I believe it's not a big senior class either. 10 to 12 is not that big, but just talk about, what these guys are meaning to the program and how they're instituted by their leadership, showing people what it's going to take to be a winner.
Yeah, the upside is I've been with this group since I got here 6 years ago when I was just defensive coordinator and head basketball coach. And I've got to see them grow and mature. And then when I took over, they were freshmen. And then I really tried to instill them that, it starts with them. It starts with how you work and the weight room and all that stuff, and it'll spill over into the younger groups. And you lead by example. Talk to Reisler about being a servant leader. The more you do, they see, those other kids want to do it. See. So I think it's important. The younger kids seeing how hard that the seniors work, that instills in them, and what it takes to become a good football player.
Well, Heath, on that point, talk about, as a senior now, you've heard the same voice of Coach Riepe for 4 years. Talk about what he's instilled and even how you've seen the program grow under his leadership from your freshman year till now.
Yeah, he really made me buy in. He taught me how to be a better player, how to be a better leader, and I was bought in. And I think the whole senior class has really bought in, and that's made the underclassmen buy in also. And it's nice having him here because we know his program, we know his defense, we know everything he's about, and I think we all just really like him and really want to play for him.
Well, Coach, I'm going to come to you just real quick. There's a reason you brought these two young men on, and they speak very well. They're very respectful, but their play on the field also reflects that. Talk about these gentlemen off the field. Talk about their leadership and what they've done to kind of help you. It'd be hard to just do it by yourself. You've got to have those kids that you can kind of lean on that have bought into what you're saying. Talk about what they've meant to you in the program.
The senior class is probably the most special one I've had. Like I said, I've been here. They've been with me since when I first got here. But these two were my first two that played varsity for me as freshmen. And they take a butt chewing from me when they need to, but they don't get their feelings hurt. And that's big, because then they can go and they can get on those underclassmen or even those other seniors, and it's better coming from them than it is coming from me. But they take it well. They know if I'm coaching them hard, then now all I want is the best from them.
Well, and that's evident in the way that you carry yourself and the way your program responds to all these things. Well, Timmy, let me just ask you, man, what is some of the things that Coach Riepe has instilled in you that you've learned from him? The little nuggets, there's sayings, I'm an old man and my football coach, there's sayings I still use that he used on me all the time. What are those things that y'all are going to remember about Coach Riepe? And I see him grinning. There's got to be a couple of Riepe-isms.
Well, I just want to make sure it's clean.
Okay.
To give everything, to just be a leader to those, because they look up to you, even if you don't think they do. They're always just going to be watching your every move, and you just got to set a good example for them. Got to give everything you got every day, because you don't know when you might lose it.
Well, and Heath, speaking of that right there, okay, y'all see a senior class that thinks, well, we're probably not getting a full season. You see everything that went on last year. How much does that make you as a senior appreciate this season that much even more than a normal season?
I mean, we gotta take it one day at a time and just enjoy that day even more, because if something happens, we don't get a game next weekend, at least we enjoyed what we had to that moment.
Awesome.
Well, Coach, you mentioned it earlier, y'all got Grants Line coming up on Friday, right before y'all kick off district. Maybe what are some things that you would like to see improved on even more this Friday before y'all do kick off district? What are some things that you would like to see cleaned up to help keep moving this season, this program forward?
I think it's two things. Offensive wise, I want to see us execute better. 21 points. 21 points, it wasn't enough. We scored those in the first 4 possessions. And then after that, we didn't score it yet. It's not that we didn't have chances. We just didn't finish drives. We didn't execute. So I want to see us finish drives, execute, and just do better and put up some more points. And lastly, he's cut down on the missed tackles and the missed assignments. Ensure those things up on the defensive side. Because going into Grandview next week is going to be a big game for us. It is our homecoming. It's a rivalry game, first district game. Those are 3 big things right there. Depending on how that sets the tone for the rest of the district. Even though you win, it sets a tone. If you lose, you lose by 7, it still sets a tone for the rest of the district, knowing that you lost by 7 to Grandview, who's really good. So, it sets a tone for the rest of the district and for the rest of the teams, knowing that they're going to have to bring it every week when they play Maypearl.
Well, Heath, I'm going to have a little bit of fun with you right now. So, does your dad come around with his phone showing you old clips back when he used to play all the time, telling you how good he was?
He didn't get on the field back in the day.
There you go. I love it. I'm going to make sure we send this to him. But, no, I mean, just talk about, y'all have had some bumps and bruises over the, during the preseason and stuff, getting in the first couple games. Y'all keep overcoming adversity all the time. And just talk about that mentality to keep driving and moving forward and getting these things corrected that Coach is talking about.
Yeah, so I think a few weeks ago we were at like 10 DBs, and then the next week we had 4. And it's just next man up. And we got to just count on each other to fill in for that position. And I count on every single guy, and I think they can fill in that position just as well as the guy in front of them can.
Well, Timmy, most programs always have a motto. They might read a book. What is that motto for y'all this year, and how are you personally instilling it in your life?
Our motto this year is all in. And for that, it's just everybody's got to be all in. Everybody's got to be committed. We all got to fly around 11 hats to the ball, like Coach Riepe says. And I've implemented that in my life by just really – I'm on my own blank.
You're good. That's okay.
It's just all in. You just got to give everything. Got to give all your effort. It's just really it.
Cool. I can tell you for a married man with a couple kids, that all-in motto, it matters more than just sports. And so I think Coach has got y'all on the right path on what matters now, and then also taking that into the future. Well, gentlemen, Coach, we appreciate you coming in and joining us. We wish you the best of luck, especially this Friday night. But I know that Grandview game here in a couple weeks, that's going to be rowdy. We want to see it. We want to see you guys get the W. And I think y'all are close. You got what it takes, and that starts at the top with you, Coach. But it also it shows in these young men you brought on with you. And so thank y'all so much. Best of luck, and let's have y'all on here in a couple weeks talking about that win against Grandview.
Sounds good.
With today's busy schedules, we need flexibility. Pinnacle Bank is the way banking should be. With ATM Live, powered by the people. They have hours that make it easy. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can just pull up to one of the easy-to-access ATMs, where there's always someone live, friendly, and knowledgeable to help you. Pinnacle Bank, not just another bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC.
We are welcoming in the Midlothian Heritage Tennis. We've got Coach Lee. We have Miss Allie Helm, and we also have Miss J. And you're gonna have to apologize if I mess it up. It's Jaylee Young, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, we want to welcome y'all in. Before we get started, I'm going to run down some accolades for these 2 young ladies, because let me tell you, Tater, these ladies know how to win.
Stacked. It's massive.
And so Jaylee has been a district champion. She's been a state semifinalist. She's also been a doubles district champion. All right. And that's a mix between freshman year when she went to state. You're a senior now, correct? we've got accolades all up and down between now and then.
Well, don't forget junior season, man. I mean,
so, yeah,
regional semifinalist.
And then spring season girls district champ, regional champ, and then state quarterfinalist. So you've done some winning. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And then I can't forget about Allie. She's been a bi-district champion, area champion, a regional quarterfinalist, and she's been a regional semifinalist and a mixed doubles semifinalist as well. So Coach Lee, talk about these two young ladies. It seems like they know what they're doing. Has it been all you? Or have you been gifted some amazing talent? Because I got to say, there's been some success being had over there at Heritage for tennis.
You know, I'd be lying if I said everything was all me. That's for sure. But no, at the program and with these two, I've just been gifted with some really hard workers. I mean, as any coach knows, like the most that you can ever ask for is just people that go out there and just really want something. And, you know, they have that competitive edge with them. And, you know, they go out there every day without being asked. They go, you know, put out work, they practice, and it's not only during, you know, our practice over at the school, but they also go outside as well. You know, some of them are, like, I know Jaylee goes over to Houston, and, you know, whenever she's down there, she'll be working, and Allie will also be working over at Mansfield at Walnut Creek as well. So these two are just, you know, two great players that just want to win, want to compete, and, you know, they do whatever it takes to go out there and do it. So
it's awesome. And Jaylee, you know, most people don't understand. Tennis has 2 seasons. Y'all go year round. This isn't, you know, a sport where you get an off season really. You're going and going and going. Just talk about how you prepare for a single season versus preparing for that double season and which one you like the most.
I prefer this individual season, which is single season, just because I like to play singles rather than doubles. But yeah, in our double season, we just play doubles all the time. Rather than my single season, all I do is play singles. I never play doubles, which is what I like to do.
Okay.
Even though playing with Allie is not bad.
Okay. So I take it that y'all are doubles partners. Is that correct? Okay. Well, Allie, which one do you like? Okay. And then I got another question for you right after that. What's your favorite to do?
I feel like there's benefits to both. I can't really choose which one I like the most. I do like spring because it gives me a chance to win on my own and see how far I can go. And I really like playing doubles, so that's why I like fall too.
Awesome. Well, one thing I'm going to say, and y'all can correct me on this because I don't know that many tennis terms, but I do know this one. It seems like Coach Lee doesn't have any pushers over there, just lobbing the ball back and forth, and y'all seem to attack the net. So, Allie, what does Coach Lee tell y'all about doing that, and how much benefit do y'all get out of playing an aggressive style of tennis?
I feel like you're really able to be more offensive, which, you know, can win the point in a different way rather than just getting it back every time and being a wall. So I feel like it can be more fun too.
Cool beans.
Now, Coach Lee, I'm going to come to you, and I got to say I really do appreciate you bringing your mascot on. And that's great. And so we love to get any time the coach's kids walk into view. Most of the time they get embarrassed, but we're like, nah, leave them there. Leave them there.
He can stay on.
And so, but
what's the name?
Oh, that's Zion.
Zion, okay.
But one thing I want to ask, Coach, is it seems like, and we've had other tennis teams on as far as Midlothian and Ennis, Waxahachie, that tennis is really starting to grow here in Ellis County. How easier does it make it for you when you've got two ladies like this that have success, two ladies that are in it year round through the summer? This is what they want to do. How easy is it for you, a coach, then to help to grow the program, both on the females and the male side?
Oh, you know, I think any coach can agree with this, but I mean, it just makes your job just way easier because I mean, half of the thing about being a coach is just helping to motivate players. And I mean, whenever you already have players that come in and just already want to work, I mean, half the work is already done for you, and you kind of get to do the other fun part, which is just kind of get to, you know, give them your knowledge and just kind of guide them in the right direction. And whenever you tell them to do certain things, I mean, they're already all for it. They're very coachable, so they're just willing to just learn and just improve as we go on each day. And not to mention, I mean, having these two on teams is, you know, it's great leadership as well, because you'll see on the team as these players, whenever they're practicing other players are paying attention to it. Other players kind of see how great of players they are, and they want to see what they're doing in order to become great players. So, I mean, it's just this chain of just hard work, and then it kind of just trickles down to the system. So, I mean, to answer your question, it just makes my life a whole lot easier. It's very enjoyable, and I've actually absolutely had a pleasure doing it. So.
Well, Jaylee, this is one thing that I think we need to rectify within the county, right? Is we don't get a lot of people out to tennis matches, okay? And y'all really have to rely on that core group of tennis players, maybe the occasional parent and stuff, but y'all are so tight as a group and have made probably bonds that will last lifetime. Just talk about that close-knit family that these tennis programs are, and especially at Heritage.
Heritage this year, I think, is it's the best year I've been on the team. I'm really close with everybody. I think everybody this year is just friend, and we're all there for each other all the time. And I think it's just, I like our team. I think it'd be weird without our team. Next year, I'm a little nervous to go on to a new team, and I'm just very thankful for the team I do have this year.
Nice. Well, and Allie, by having such a close group, are y'all not able to push each other to reach a better height? And how does that manifest itself through the team?
We definitely are able to push each other. I know that whenever we're in the middle of a game or a match, you can always count on them to be there on the sidelines cheering you on and telling you to keep pushing and grinding through, especially when you're not doing so good. It's definitely an encouragement to have them there.
Awesome.
Well, Jaylee, I'll come back to you. I want to know, it's usually Taylor's question, but I'm going to steal it this time. I want to know, with such a tight-knit group, when y'all are traveling together, y'all are going to these matches on the road, talk about who is the one on the team that is still in the aux cord or bringing the speaker, getting everybody riled up, that it's nonstop, maybe making TikToks in the back. Who on the team is the one that gets everybody going riled up?
I'm going to have to say Kate. He just is
Can you say that name again? We cut out there.
It's Cannon Wheat.
Oh, okay.
The life of the party. He gets everybody riled up, I guess. So I'd say him.
Well, Allie, have y'all had a chance to get Coach Lee to do a TikTok yet or anything like that?
Not that I know of. I don't have TikTok, so.
Okay. Well, Coach, we can get you one with the team there. If we can get Sam Wrinkle to do it, I'm sure we can get you to do it. But
Sam did it, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, Allie, just talk about the sport for a second, okay? This is a lifelong sport, and there's a lot of things, as you continue to gain age and stuff. One of the big things is being able to playing UTR matches. Does that not help y'all grow as well? Because I know a lot of y'all do UTRs to where you're playing somebody at the same skill level, but they might be older than you, or they could be younger than you. How does that help?
It definitely gives you a good variety of people to play. So if they're older, you just figure out their style, how they win. It's definitely always different for everybody. So it's good to know all the different ways that people play.
Awesome.
Well, Coach Lee, on the season, you guys are 4-5. It's still early as you get closer, and when district starts rolling, talk about how you feel about the state of the team. We've talked about these two young ladies, but it goes deeper than that. Talk about how you feel this team has come together and maybe some strides they've taken from the beginning of the season and how you feel the rest of the year is going to play out.
The way that I feel about this team right now, 2 years ago, we graduated 8 seniors. So then the year after that, so just recently within this past year, we also graduated another top 4 boys. So you could say that our team is in a rebuilding year right now, but going into the season, I know that a lot of them were lacking experience. I know the boys' side, only 2 boys were returning and playing varsity, so the other 6 are new. And then I'm sorry, my son is grabbing random.
Don't worry about it.
But yeah, a lot of them are lacking experience. I know on the girls' side, we've kept all the girls, but last year it was kind of the first year playing, so a lot of them have definitely improved since then. But a lot of them are sophomores and very young players, so freshmen, sophomores, and we'll have a couple of juniors and a couple of seniors. But you know, at the very beginning, it was definitely a lot to learn and a lot of experience to be going through. But you know, as the season has progressed, one thing that I've absolutely loved seeing, and like Jaylee said, like this team has really bonded this year. And one thing that's really stood out is that there's this desire, and y'all have played sports before, but there's this desire where it finally has clicked, where we had a certain match, and you know they played, I believe this the match against Argyle. Argyle's a tough team. You know, they played a tough team, probably a state qualifying team. And after that, it kind of just clicked, and they kind of realized where we needed to be and how much work needed to be put in there. So ever since that match, what's been happening is, I mean, I've been having players stay back afterwards, just practicing on their own, practicing from anywhere from 1 hour, 2 hours on their own, trying to hit ball machine, just hitting serves on their own, whatever that may be, and just pulling each other out, asking if they can hit after practice as well. So that's just been something that's just been gradually happening, and I believe the team chemistry has actually got a lot better since then too. So I mean, I'm confident in this team. You know, we've already played 2 district matches, and I know that 2 of the toughest ones are coming up. So we're playing Godly tomorrow, and then we'll be playing another tough, you know, Alvarado team on Tuesday. That could very well determine the district champion. So I mean, these kids have been working hard every single day since then, and you know, here we've pushed, you know, work ethic, and also, you know, push the idea of a family, right? A family and a team. So I think that's just the combination of those 2 things right there. These players have really gotten better and really improved, and I think they've enjoyed. I hope. I mean, there's 2 of them here, but I hope they've enjoyed the journey this year and kind of like the hard work. It's a little bit different. Like I said, it's a little bit different this year than it is the other years, because previously we've had, I mean, strong teams to where it's been a lot easier to win our district, and I think a lot of them have kind of lost the, lost the value in the district championship, or lost the value in wins. So this is the first year where they actually kind of see the value of every single win at district, and what a district championship could actually be, and actually give it some appreciation. So I'm very confident. I mean, I love this team. I'm always going to believe in my team, and they've been putting out the work for it, just like how they should be. So I'm confident in them.
Well, Allie, and you know, Coach just covered this, right? Alvarado is always one of those teams that when y'all face them in district, it's always tough. You know, people don't think about Alvarado. I think, Coach, correct me if I'm wrong, has close to 18 courts out there. It seems like in that back parking lot. You know, that was a massive tennis structure in the area before everybody else started building these things. But, Allie, just talk about how this early hard schedule is preparing y'all for those late district games to win that district championship.
It definitely is preparing us, especially preseason, playing all the harder schools and getting us ready, like playing all the different types. And we've definitely gotten better, I feel like, just being able to play them. And even though we lost, we just have more stamina and grind to be able to pull it out, hopefully.
Awesome. Well, Jaylee, real quick, you know, we don't know what your plans are. Do you have plans to continue to play tennis after school? Do you got any schools that you're looking at to do that with? Or what's the exciting news for you after this long season?
I'm looking at a few schools right now. I'm not sure which one I'm going to go to. I'm mainly looking at this one Alabama school. It's called Huntingdon, and I think that might be the school that I go
Where are you
to.
going to be able to play tennis there? Is that one of the options there for you? Oh, awesome. Very good. Very good. Well, congratulations. We know things are going to continue to go well for you there. And, Coach, you know, thank y'all for joining us. And Zahn, thank you too. He can stay in the picture, Coach. He ain't going to upset us at all, okay? We want to thank you, Coach, because, you know, ladies, we love the sports and stuff. And these coaches give so much of their time to y'all. And I know they look at you girls and the guys on the team as like your family as well, you know. And, Coach, anything else you'd say to get more people out to the matches of tennis? I mean, it seems like we got a pretty good groundswell over in Midlothian of tennis players through the Midlothian Tennis Association, things like that. But what would you do to encourage more people to come out and see a match with your team?
I mean, you know, if they want to come out, have a good time, learn a lifelong sport, you know, and just for the record here, tennis is one of those sports where if you do it recreationally or whenever you're switching sides, you can easily make friends. Now, if you're competitive, you probably don't want to talk to them on the sideline. But I will say, whenever I've played like leagues where it's just more friendly, we've sat down. Oh, but I mean, I will say that, you know, whenever you play a little bit more friendly matches, I've made conversations with so many people on the side. Oh, okay, go on. And you know, you gotten to know a lot more people, and you know, stay healthy.
Yeah. It's okay. Zon, can you say hi to us?
Howdy.
Hi, buddy. How you doing? All right.
Well, awesome, guys. Well, we appreciate y'all taking time out of your evening. I know y'all got a busy schedule, so we'll let you get back to it. But thank you so much. Best of luck against Godly and then Alvarado, and hopefully we can have y'all on again soon, maybe talking about a district championship. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, ladies, and best of luck.
And thank you, Zon.
Thank you for having us.
In Ellis County, you know where to go for the best pizzas and burgers.
Welcome to Doe City. How are you doing today?
A menu that allows you to have it just the way you like it. Great, friendly customer service. And all the toppings you can handle. So what do our customers say about Doe City?
We come up here all the time, so we love the pizza and the burgers also.
It's somewhere we can all come and have a good time with our friends and enjoy the good food that they have here. I love the fries.
That it's cooked to order, so you're always going to get it fresh.
Doe City's always a great place to come and hang out with your friends.
Whether it's Tuesday or Friday night after a ball game in Ellis County, guess what? You can always make it over and have a little bit of delicious.
It's delicious.
Delicious. It's delicious.
So come in or order out at Doe City Pizza and Burgers in Red Oak, Texas.
The battle to belong begins here, among the few, the proud, the Marines.